Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dean Nisbet, Deano's Landscaping and Excavating, and I'd talk about the proper construction of a rock wall. We've been on this particular project now for about 5 weeks. About 2,500 square feet of rock when we're totally done. We've got about 3 days left. And so what I want to talk about is proper construction. We have some drain rock here. We got a variety of chunk, and in behind this wall that I'm going to start to show you, there's Big O and there's a lot of dry stack, and that's the proper construction of a wall. So you get drainage. We put filter fabric in behind, and if water issue is coming as a spring issue or something that an irrigation line might eventually break, we always try to prepare for the worst. So we put Big O on the bottom. So I'm going to take you through one of our rock walls that we've built and kind of show you from this perspective. Here's a particular wall. It's about 5 feet high. We've got mid rocks that, or base rock that start at the bottom, sorry, and come right into what I call our midline. So the midline being from here up, and then these are our mid caps. When these rocks are put into their proper placements, they're there forever. I've seen a lot of rock walls built incorrectly, and I've actually repaired a lot of walls that have been incorrectly built and have fallen or failed due to not the proper dry stack in behind. What happens is the material that is in behind, if it wasn't protected by the filter cloth, starts to leach out and will start to bleed through the walls. So the wall has to breathe properly. So if there's any water that comes down after spring of winter, we're going to make sure that the wall drains, never builds up any pressure and have any surcharge to overpower it. So with that, we're going to move on to the next area and go from there. So on an ideal build, which we call a number one build, where you're actually using one piece of equipment where the rock is right there, we dump the rock, we have our drain rock and stack rock all placed behind us. This particular site is pretty big now, but if you would have seen it 2 weeks ago, there was 10 loads of rock on here. And you can see we're now getting down to 2 foot and smaller rock. Well, we had 3 and 4 foot high rocks in here. So it's very important to have a nice clean site. I always tell people if they're building a home, do your hardscape first. You do that, you're not going to have to work around foundations and other workers. You're going to be more productive, and we can usually use 1, maybe 2 machines on the site when the rock's dropped off. So we started with building this back wall, and right behind the loader here you'll start to see from back there these rocks have been put in a manner that they look like they've been placed there like a puzzle. They follow the lines, base rock, mid rock. A base can go into the midline, but generally not all the way to the cap, or it'll look out of proportion. Then we finish with cap, and then in behind, our dry stack is probably 2.5 feet behind this. So this wall would never come down in a million years. Then it bleeds down, and you can see it follows the actual natural land and tapers out to nothing. So with that, we're going to go to our last and final wall that we're on. We're going to go down to the bottom and show you a 2-tier wall, and we're quite proud about that, so we'd like to show you that. So now we're looking at our 2-tier wall. We're actually just working up the side here now. There'll be a wall that comes in here at about a 2.5 to 3 foot level, and then behind you can actually see what I was talking about earlier. Fabric, protecting any end for, of the dirt or the organic matter. We've got a lot of chunk and drain in there, where right now we've actually put some chunk and drain. Now we're ready for more chunk. Chunk rock, what I'm referring to is this stuff, or man rope. And if it's done properly, the results that you can have are phenomenal. And if you actually start to look at this now, 2-tier wall, about 4 to 5 feet, and when it's washed, it's going to look phenomenal. And with that, if you have any more questions, go to our website. We'd be happy to answer them. Thanks again. Deano's Landscaping.